Okay, so we can now just SSH onto this pod, right, which is right here. I'll come here into my workspaces, and in here I've got a bunch of files. So these are actual code. So we'll run our inference code. Yeah. Um, so we'll just put it back on the node up real quick, and then we'll run this, and then we'll do something like that. We keep track of it there. Now, if you have a look at what it's doing, so it will load the TabFM model locally, right? Because I've downloaded it here. It's in my workspace. Yeah, using this model, and it's now querying my Elasticsearch cluster for live data sets, right? So live orders. So let me show you. If you go into Elasticsearch and then we do plus 24 hours. Okay, all of these, what you see in here are so each rows represent a document, and a document represent an order, right? It represents a live data set to predict. Yeah. In this particular case, so I'm doing the sales side, right? So it's going against this, and it's looking for anything that was predicted as either one or zero, right, in the prediction field. So we get back to it, and yeah, it picked up one here, which is blur. Okay, so blur's got 9,000 rows, right? As we can, okay, anyway, I'll show you. I'll do the cross checking now, but it's got 5,000 rows, and you've got your distribution there. So it's a 60, 68, 30, 31. Not bad. Okay. You have some statistic there as well. And this is the model, just reading the data engineering field that we did, right? So it knows that we have these categorical fields, and it knows that we have these numerical fields. Yeah, and then it goes. So what's interesting here is that so you see how long it took to upload the dataset into the in context window, about 0.2 seconds, so not even a second. And then so hold on. Yeah, so this is the uploading into the in context window, and learning the doing the neural network uh, pattern learning. That is really fast. And then after that uh, after that we converting our live trade. So live trade will be like test trade into data frames, and then what we're doing, then we're doing data engineering on that, and then we're doing yeah, and then we're kicking off prediction. So this predicted to be a loss, probability of 5%. Okay. Right. Yes, predicted to be a loss. And as you can see here, running ES execution, that's what goes into placing like the actual order there. It's got skipped because it's zero. There's a condition in the script. And then it just does that, right, for every assets that it finds there. So right now we've got ENS there. Let's see what's the prediction. It's still running, and it is predicted to win at 84%. Yeah, but now what's important is when we go back here. So this is long. Yeah. So these are the filtering that we're doing, right? So is ENS part of this? Yes, ENS is part of this, right? In terms of this, that's so we can trust this. And what's happening is that these get logged here now. So let's do single. So let's filter by this guy. Let's do quick filtering. Yes, this guy. And I just want you to pay attention on the model that is used, right? So we've got XGB versus TabFM, right? So I'm running both of them concurrently, so I can, so we can tell which one is better or yeah, which one. Just saying the truth. So XGB, let's see. So this is the same algorithm. Yeah, right. Same algorithm. I've got some algorithm called Claude V2, which I ran through some Claude pipeline to get some insight from. But anyway, it's called Claude V2. And so using the same algorithm, the same data set, XGB's got it the win at 54%. So, not it, it says win, but it's not an overwhelming win. But Ted FM's got him as a really there, right? And you can see again the context window here. And yeah, so these rows here, get updated automatically because I've got like I've got a syncing job, that checks the outcome at every level, right? The outcome that we're interested in is this outcome here, 01, and that's what we want to track, right? So I do see. Maybe this, let's see what that's doing. Let's see state. Okay, so his state is currently losing, it's not winning yet. Yeah, it's not winning yet. And essentially, uh, I'll show you on the live platform what it's supposed to do. So it picked on the live platform. Let's just bring it in so you can see what's happening. Um, so when you look at so this is ENS, right? That's the guy that we just took, and 5 minutes. So it is betting against this. So it's saying that this will bounce back at some point, up until somewhere there, and it should give us, so it should do something like this and come back up. That's what it's predicting to do. So this is a 5 minute candle. Let's see on a 1 hour candle. That's where we are, and yeah, we'll be right. So that's what we are, uh, hoping to do. Yeah, so that's gonna run and it's run continuously, over here. Um, yeah, that's just my IP rate limit and trading platform, which I'll check. That's not a problem. But let's get back to this. So essentially, what we're hoping to track is if you come on this dashboard here, I've purposely, set it back to August the 2nd because I hadn't started feeding data into this yet. But so this is a dashboard, and in each of these panels, we'll be able to see information and KPIs that we want to track. On the first one, this will contain the sides because we're doing prediction on two sides, sales and buy, so long and short. And then here we'll have the weight, right, in terms of how many that we predicted to. I mean, how many were actually good prediction, right? So we predicted to win in one. Uh, so we'll see it there, right? Both sides. So left side will be TabFM and right side is XGBoost, right? As you can see with the name. Okay, so same thing here. So here we also tracking the good match. So did we had a good prediction, but over time, right? Like in the time series layout, right? So we can see how that unfolds, and then we have track progress. Yeah, so this will flag whenever uh, we made like a wrong prediction. Yeah. So yeah, whenever we made a wrong prediction, it will flag here. So we'll be able to see it in a time series format as well. And then okay, pie chart. So this will show us the distribution of wins that has hit our target. So our target is it's like a specific target that we know of. In this case, it's called outcome 01. I just need to change the title here. But you'll be able to see there what's winning and what's failing. And yeah, and then you're gonna have the win versus the losses at a very specific threshold that we set. So this is let's say we wanted to take profit at uh 0.002% of assets. We'll do it there. And then here we'll have the wins in terms of monetary value, which is not, I mean, for now, don't pay attention to that. The most important, you just pay attention to the percentage, right? How much we're winning versus how much we're losing. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, we're not taking the same amount of uh, volume across TabFM and XGBoost. XGBoost is taking a lot more than TabFM. So if we're looking at the monetary value, yeah, it will look skewed, but yeah. So and the percentage will be the panel you want to keep your eye on. And we kind of more interested in 1% because that's where there's a good gain. Okay, cool. So I've been running this for I think 3 days kind of thing. So I'll just do like 7 days, but it will pick up. It will pick up to 3 days. So far, okay. I'll be running this for like 30 days, but let's see how it's doing so far. So this is what I was talking about. That's how things look like. So you have your buy and sales. You have your uh, successful predict versus fail predict. Yeah, it's quite high here. Uh, this is the total amount. Excuse me. This is the total amount, and yellow is what has not given us an outcome yet. Again, TabFM, XGBoost. Okay, XGBoost seems to be taking a lot more failing to predict than TabFM. For now, this is not conclusive. But then I'll show you. So we're going to do this. I'll show you different dimension of this dashboard, right? Because you're right. So right now we're just doing like a one shot overview of it, just to see what's happening. And again, this is the daily predict, right? So So like I say, I started this on the 8th, yeah, today's the 12th. So on the 9, this is I did. It seems to have done pretty good in prediction, in good predict on the 8th. That's what we get. On the 11, really bad. And on the 12th, which is today, yeah, I mean, look good, but it's not conclusive yet. The day isn't ended. And then you can do the same with XGBoost. You can see what it's doing there. All right, so this is really important because this shows us um, the failed prediction, right? So red means that, okay, I predicted it to win, but it's actually failed. And you can see it like really spiking here on the 11, which is that. That's not good. And XGB seems to be doing that a lot more often. But I mean, for now, they're both simulating the same. This is the distribution again. So this is distribution of algorithms that are hitting my target, uh, my target outcome. Right? So I've got a target outcome. So let's say my outcome is to hit 1%, 2%. In this particular case, it's 1%. And this is across the different algorithm that I'm using. This is good, so I can see which algorithm is good and which ones are not so good. In this particular case, Bolingo one is good because it's 8%, but I don't see him in the loss. Well, he's in the loss, but he's at 1%. Right, plot 2 seems to be bringing in a lot of losses, but it's relatively high in terms of good ones. So that's kind of how you can do that. I'm not going to drill down into that, but that's the idea there. And then you have your win versus loss again. This is at a 0.02%. So we can see how that's going. Huge loss, bigger losses, and yeah, over there, this is a loss. This is also a loss. Not more losses than that, but just okay. And then we've got the 1% now, window percentage, right? So I'm winning at 69. Now, losing, okay, just a context. So losing has a lot more weight than winning, right? So I'm winning at 1%, but losing is set at 3%, right? So that's your stop loss. Okay, stop loss got a little bit of a bigger window, just to allow us to allow the model to not the model allow the assets to fluctuate. So hence a stop loss is there 3%, but it's heavy in terms of what it's doing. Instead of what it's doing, and then and then uh, and then I do what? Okay, then I carry on. Sorry, I was just I was just saying something to my and then yeah, right. So that's what I was saying about this. So yeah, this is not good, right? We are losing both ways. These are the these are all the assets. Now, right, this is just a blank one. Now let's go into a different dimension of this. Remember, we were doing we had to do measurements, right? We had to do this. We had to do metric measurement to get the good ones, right? And based on the good ones, we know that okay, we've got a certain number of assets. So we'll apply that to this. We say, okay, cool. I mean, in our live inferences, we won't take everything. we'll take only those ones. And I've already included them here. I've included them. Yeah, I've included them here. Editing, right? So you see a number of guys here. Yeah, I've already put them there. So then what I do is that, okay, I'll say enable. Okay. And I enable and I refresh. Okay, let's do, yeah, so it does change. So just if you look at the monitor, so I've enabled this. So it changed a lot more on XGBoost. Let's see in terms of results. Uh, okay, this one's fine. Can we still have that? Yes. We still have still have loss. Let's go through here. Oh, but on XGBoost, we seems to be better, 82%. Okay. Um, but let's take. Oh, sorry, I forgot another thing. So that's that. Because right, so now again we're doing still sell and buy, right? It's still finding both of them, but I've got model based on specific side, right? So this is for long, it's not for short. So then can do something that I'm going to enable my long. And in my long, I've got something like this, right? Because my probability will also be 70. Okay, do that. And then let me just close the door. Okay, you can still hear me, right? Yeah, right. With that now, I'll say, okay, bring in this guy. Once I bring that in, with those filters, then things change drastically here. Hmm. TabFM, I don't see successful there, but XGB is completely just good predict, right? And it's just good predict. Uh, good predict, and it's at 100%. And yeah, I mean, this is picking up. This is highly effective. And let's do the same on the XGB filter, because I also took some measurement right on the XGB. So let's enable XGB once, and then disable this guy. We're still hundreds there, and it's pretty much the same amount. So okay, two on the hold on XGB it is 100% 14. Flip back here. Yeah, so it's about on XGBoost measurement. It's actually better, right? So XGBoost measurement of here, XGB F then long trainings, this guy, right? So these are the XGB ones, these are the measurements. And yeah, XGBoost measurement seems to be pretty good playing it on here. So yeah, so we'll be running this for 30 days, and I think I've done enough of this. I need to stop my part for now. I'll run something else. But yeah, essentially, that's what we'll be doing. And then after 30 days, we shall know, yeah, we shall know how they're doing. But for now, it seems like, and both of them are pretty on point, right? I can't say I'd say that it's better than XGBoost for now. So let's see how this goes. But yeah, hopefully you've been able to gain something out of today's session. And yeah, watch out for the results in about 3 days. Thank you. Bye bye.